Come in, sir.
Please come.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You are Mr. Milan
Milan.
Tanwar.
Yes, sir.
Medium of interaction will be English.
Yes, sir.
So, Milan, can you give us a brief introduction?
Good afternoon to all the esteemed panelists. I am Milan Tanwar. I was born and brought up in Faridabad, Haryana. After that, I did my bachelor's in engineering from NIT Kurukshetra, and after that, I did my job in corporate, that is IDS Limited, for 4 years. Post that, I started preparing for civil services, and along with that, I enrolled for Masters in International Relations from Jawaharlal Nehru University. Presently, I am pursuing my PhD in Center for West Asian Studies at JNU itself.
When are you likely to complete?
Sir, in December 2025.
I see. So, I see that you've done your BTech
Right, sir.
from NIT Kurukshetra. So, having that kind of a professional degree, what attracted you to the civil services?
Sir, I was from the beginning, I was interested in pursuing the goal of civil services. And apart from that, sir, while I was working in the telecom industry, my inclination due to few of my seniors from the college, they were preparing and they also appeared for various interviews. So, due to my interaction with them, my inclination grew further, and thereafter I decided to pursue this path later on.
Right. And you're fond of cricket.
Yes, sir.
So, in the recently concluded second test between India and South Africa, a number of records were created. Can you name two of them?
First of all, sir, in more than 100 years, it was the shortest test that was concluded, because on the first day itself, 23 wickets were fallen from both the teams. And secondly, sir, I could think of only one.
6 wickets fell without a run?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of Indian team.
Yes. Now tell me, have you heard of the term judicial activism and judicial review? Sorry, judicial activism and judicial overreach.
Right. Yes, sir.
Can you, by way of examples, draw a distinction between them? First, of course, give me the definition and then give an example to show the difference.
So, judicial activism is when the judiciary itself starts taking the role of other branches of the government and start transgressing into their domain. And
No, I think you're talking about judicial overreach.
sorry, sir, judicial overreach. Judicial activism is when the legislator or the executive, they're not, according to the judiciary, they are not performing their desired task, and when the judiciary tries to come up with their own things. For example, sir, through Vishaka guidelines, judiciary gave these guidelines, and later on, based on that.
And overreach?
So overreach is.
Can you give me an example of overreach? You've already defined it. Overreach, can you give an example?
Sir, as of moment, I am unable to think of the example.
Okay, I'm giving you a term, Chuha Khanik. Have you heard of Chuha Khanik?
Sorry, sir.
Rat hole miners.
Rat hole mining, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So tell me something about Chuha Khaniks and their role in the recent tragedy. Or rather, it turned out to be not a tragedy because of them.
Yes, sir. Sir, rat hole mining is one of the prevalent practices that is done to extract coal from the hilly regions of the country. It was mainly done in northeast, and presently this it happened in Uttarakhand also. These holes are so small that they are named rat holes because the diameter as well as the size is very small. Even at times adult cannot enter, and they have to send children for the extraction.
So where did the tunnel collapse take place?
Silkyara tunnel. It was in the Uttarakashi district of Uttarakhand.
Very good. My final question to you. You are looking at the impact of climate change in West Asia, right? But climate change, according to Donald Trump, is a hoax. He says that there have been so many natural changes over the years, at least eight ice plus warm ages, first ice age, then warm age, ice age, warm age. So are you in agreement with this, that it's all a fraud, it's all a hoax?
Sir, climate change is a natural process. Like as you mentioned, ice age, then warm age, it does happen. But as the former president of United States, Honorable President Donald Trump said, it's a hoax. I do not concur with this statement, because the changes that are taking place and that have taken place in the last 30 or 40 years, they are testament to it. Moreover, sir, various scientific bodies like Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, they have come up with their own reports and studies that significantly tells us that climate change is a reality in various parts of the world, and if we do not act in time, then...
No, but what is different between this phase of climate change and the earlier phases?
Sir, it was a natural phase, and this phase is due to the human induced activities, anthropogenic activities.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you have worked in the telecom sector.
Yes.
So, were you part of killing idea? Why did it once go out of business and then came back?
Sir, as much as I could recall, and when I was working with the Idea Cellular Limited, it was a very thriving entity and a business, and it was a market leader in various telecom circles. For example, Uttar Pradesh East, Kerala, and Uttar Pradesh West as well. But due to various changes that happened and that took place during those years, because telecom infrastructure it's a very expensive thing, a huge amount of investment, crores. So with the changing pace and changing needs of the time, the company, I believe, sir, could not keep up the pace. And sir, when I was there, when I resigned from the company, it was in the talks of merger with Vodafone India, and later on it did happen, and after that, sir, it has lost a lot of market cap on account of the new player Jio Infocom that came, and because of the various things that it gave to the customers and the services that it gave.
Now we have duopoly, right? Is it good for telecom for the communications?
Sir, in my opinion, as much competition that we can have in the market, it is good for the industry as well as for the consumer. So duopoly in the longer run, in my belief, is not good. We should have a few more players, so that it should not become a cartel and should not be dominated by one. It should be a win-win situation for both the industry as well as the consumers.
Which is the latest offering by these two players in terms of internet?
Sir, they have started rolling out 5G services in various pockets, and
No, that's fine. But they are trying to create space for them, what Elon Musk promised.
there was a talk of Elon Musk having a stake in Vodafone India idea.
No, was there that satellite-based communication or satellite-based internet, which will be cheaper, air fiber? They are talking of air fiber.
Sorry,
Okay.
sir, I'm not aware about it.
All right. You come from Haryana and Faridabad, right? And there is a district, Palwal. Now Palwal has been made a district. Is there a private university there?
Sir, according to my knowledge, there are lots of private universities along the highway.
Okay. A number of them. Can you name any? A
Sir,
medical college there, or a university and medical college?
Goldfield Institute of Technology and Management, I could remember. There is one also, sir, Lingyas University, and there is Sir Manav Rachna also.
Okay.
But it is not towards the Palwal side, but it is.
Muizu, in Maldives, Muizu wants that by March 15, Indian troops should be removed from there. But there is a very heartening development there in Maldives. Can you tell what is that?
Sir, recently, though President Muzi wants Indian troops back by 15 March, recently the main opposition party, a former president, has won the mayor elections in Mali. As President Muzi was also the mayor of Mali before he contested the election of president of Maldives. He left that post and then he contested. So the opposition party has won by a landslide victory, and they had a landslide victory, and it will be this is a latest and new development that is happening in Mali and the Mali.
Okay, thank you.
Milan, you have opted for IFS as a third choice, and every IFS officer is given a language to learn. Which language would you choose and why?
Sir, if given a opportunity to pursue the career in foreign services, I would try to learn Russian language.
That is what I thought, because you are doing PhD in West Asia studies. Why not learn Arabic?
Sir, a little bit of introductory Arabic course was given to me during my coursework in PhD.
So it's better to master it.
But I believe, sir, if I have exposure to other languages, like our Honorable External Affairs Minister, he has experience and mastery in various languages.
So first master Arabic. You can learn Russian much later.
So, sure, sir.
Okay. Does Turkey fall into your area of study in West Asia?
Turkey is not under my...
Not. Who is the leader? Who all are claimants for leadership in the Islamic world?
Sir, there are basically two players that are trying to be leaders in the Islamic world. First is Saudi Arabia, that claims to be the leader of Sunni Muslims, and another is Iran, that is a Shia country, and it claims to represent the Shia Muslims.
Okay. There was a time when both Turkey and Egypt were trying to get the leadership of the Islamic world. What has happened to them, and do you think they are still four-corner fight, or they have withdrawn from the...
Sir, Turkey in the recent years has been struggling with its economic issues, and it is in 2016 also there was a coup against President Erdogan. So there are various problems that Turkey is trying to manage, and moreover its membership of European Union is, the talks are no longer happening. So things are not that good as when it tried to had a leadership role. And when it comes to Egypt had a dictatorship, and during the Arab Spring there was frequent changes of the leaders, and so right now Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, it's trying to manage the domestic issues, but
so what you said about Turkey and Erdogan is because they are losing their claim in the Western world, European world. Is that why they are trying to fiddle into Israel-Palestinian war?
Sir, Egypt has been a partner of USA since the since the Camp David Accord. So it is into that camp, and it is trying to play a role of mediator. I don't believe, sir, they are trying to fiddle or meddle into it. Egypt.
Okay. What is the future of India's closeness to the Arab world?
Sir, in the last few years, India's outreach to the Arab world has increased manifold. Honorable Prime Minister of India has made various visits to countries like Saudi
What is
Arabia.
the future?
Future is like we are a energy hungry nation, so we are a lot dependent on oil and gas. So I think that India's relations with Arab world are going to increase in the near
What do the Arab world want from India? India has an interest in oil. What is the interest of the Arab world in India?
India is a growing power, and in any kind of
They don't produce any product. They don't. There is no market for them in India. What is their interest in India?
They need everything else from India.
sorry, sir, I will have to look
Okay.
into this issue.
Milan, you are from Faridabad. Now tell me, Faridabad was projected as a flagship industrial township of promise. It has lost on its story. What has happened? Why did it happen?
Sir, you rightly pointed out that it was projected as an industrial hub, and lot of companies are there already. But I believe, sir, two reasons that has led to its lackluster performance in last few years or the decades. It's the growth of Gurugram and its rise as an alternate, and all those IT and banking industry that has shifted. And secondly, sir, those companies or the lot of corruption that was happening in during that time in the between the industries and the government
Thank you,
machine.
Milan. Enough, I have understood. Now tell me, JNU, any alumni you are proud of because of which you feel that you are very lucky, fortunate to be in JNU?
Sir, Honorable External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. Jaishankar.
You look up to Dr. Jaishankar?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. I'm happy. There are a lot of suicide being committed by the youth, young boys and girls, particularly in Kota and various other places. What is according to me, the basic reason is that most of the youth assess their actual abilities higher than what actually it is. They don't assess their abilities realistically. Everyone cannot become an IIT, everyone cannot get into IAS. What is, according to you, the reason?
Sir, you are right that at times we as youth, they project their capabilities much higher. But I believe, sir, there is nothing wrong in that, because till the time we don't.
There is a difference between thinking big. There is a difference between thinking big and assessing your actual abilities.
You are right, sir. But I believe, sir, till the time we don't think big, we can't move in that direction. So it is important to think big and act in that direction. And moreover, sir, regarding the suicides that is happening, it is also because of the parental pressure and the societal pressure that students they take on themselves, and they have to undergo these kind of unfortunate incidents. But I believe, sir, suicide is not an option for anyone. Life is a long journey.
Now, let's come to another issue. See, things are happening at the speed of thought in today's world. We are investing heavily in chips manufacturing. You know where? Where are we manufacturing it?
Nearby Chennai and Gujarat as well.
And Gujarat as well. Now, but in another couple of years, with AI advent, the need of chips in that quantity or that kind of thing will be no more there. So why are you investing so heavily in something which is getting outdated in next, say, few years, couple of years?
Uh, Sir, various devices of ours at present, they require.
Now, of course, I agree. That is why we are. But is it a good idea to invest so heavily in manufacturing of something which is going to get outdated in next 5 years?
Um, Sir, I don't know much.
Okay. Now, who was the father of fiber optics? You are an electronics engineer. So, fiber optics plays a major role in electronics communication. Who was the father of an Indian who narrowly missed a Nobel Prize?
Sir, I'm unable to recall that.
Wore a turban also. Narendra Singh Kapani. Know his name, you will do. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, Milan.
Good afternoon, sir.
I see you were a member of your placement advisory committee in NIT Kurukshetra or in JNU?
NIT Kurukshetra, sir.
Okay. There are companies who are looking for people, good people, and there are colleges where kids are looking for good companies. Where's the gap?
The gap lies between the requirements of the company as well as the skill set. When I was in my NIT Kurukshetra and when I was the member of placement advisory committee, at time because of the outdated syllabus or the curriculum that we were made to learn and the needs and requirements of the industry, there was a mismatch. So the companies did hire, but they were looking for something extra, and they had to, when they hired, and then the students, they joined as an employees, they had to for 6 months or 1 year they have to give them additional training so that they can become job ready.
What ideas you introduced? Because you have written you have brought more than 50 companies. What kind of ideas you introduced?
Sir, first of all, before when I took over as, it was entirely a manual process. So with the help of my fellow members and at the instance of the professor in charge training and placement, I tried to come up with an online portal so that in the near future this could become a base. At that point of time, we used to work with a Yahoo mail ID. There was not even a specific domain of NIT Kurukshetra mail ID. So I also requested the training professor in charge training placement. So please, have this, because through this, if we are going to mail the companies, they will know that we are the authentic people. Or otherwise, it can land in their spam box. It can also be like they can think it as a hoax mail, and they may never reply, and we may lose a very potential and good recruiter, and the students also will lose a very bright opportunity to serve in that organization.
You didn't told me you went into explaining the idea. What kind of ideas we require in 2023? That was like 2013?
12, 13, sir. 12 and 13.
2013. In 2023, recently, because I was connected to a professor from your NIT Kurukshetra, he told me this year there are only 2 companies who are coming to NIT Kurukshetra.
Sir, I am unaware about this development. If that,
I'm just asking you a general question. What kind of ideas? Where's the gap? Definitely, the gap is in skill set. If you in 2023 you are in NIT Kurukshetra now, what kind of ideas you will bring now on the table to bridge out that gap?
first of all, sir, as per my observation and experience that I have observed, engineering students, they are at times not good with their soft skills. First of all, they have to be good at soft skills, and they have to be trained for that also.
Number one.
And moreover, sir, with the growing technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, they have to be imparted that knowledge also, so that there is no gap between the requirements of the industry and the skills that students possess.
Okay, coming to your hobbies, you have mentioned about Hindi web series. You might be watching this web series on OTT.
Right.
What kind of regulations are there currently for OTT?
The government has come up with regulations, intermediary guidelines in the year 2021, and according to that, they need to have a grievance officer and it should be based in India only. And sir, I'm unable to recall much about this.
Okay, tell me which ministry regulates OTT. Lastly, just tell me which ministry regulates OTT.
Ministry of Information and Broadcasting.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Milan. Thank you.
How do you pronounce your name? Is it Milan or Milan?
Sir, Milan.
Milan. Right. So we come to the end of our formal interaction. Now we'll be going into the area for detailed feedback. But prior to that, would like to know from you, what is your self-assessment?
Sir, I could have done much better. I fumbled up and I did not do well.
When is your interview?
Sir, it's not in the phase 1.
Okay. And how many mocks have you taken?
So this is my first mock.
Your first mock. And this is your first attempt at UPSC and you made it, is that it?
No, sir. It is my 5th attempt and this is my first interview, sir.
Oh, so they didn't get this right out here. Your 5th attempt and first interview.
Yes, sir.
So, Milan, you are a very promising candidate, I must say. There are only a few areas which I would like to point out where you can, by way of preparation, and you've got adequate time. Don't let this heaven sent opportunity go by. So, first thing I would say is that you are sitting in a very stiff posture like this.
Okay, sir.
Just relax. It's not an interrogation. It's an interaction with seniors.
Okay, sir. So is it good right now?
No, it's not.
This is good.
Just whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
At the moment, it's looking very stiff. So sit like this.
Sir, I have been sorry to interrupt you, sir. I have been told to sit like this with your lap.
No, you don't go by what you've been told.
Okay.
Sit naturally.
Okay, sir.
And the more relaxed you are, the better, the more positive vibes you emanate. And the more positive vibes you emanate, the better it is for you. Right? So, now, couple of things which you need to understand. One is that this is not a test of knowledge. Right? It's a test of your personality. And they are looking for officer-like qualities. And in that, integrity is first and foremost. So don't guess. If you don't know, just say that I'll need to read up on this. They are looking for balanced opinions. They are looking for poise and self-confidence. They are looking for your exposition, whether it is lucid or whether it is all jumbled up. Right? They are looking for logical thinking. All these things come into the mix. And also your awareness of yourself, of what is around you, your district, state, nation, the world, like that. I would suggest, of course, formal dress is very important. So you'll wear a suit and a tie, right? Eye contact. From time to time, you can just casually look around without making it look self-conscious, so as to include everyone in the conversation. Because you are addressing the board and the board is addressing you. Most of the time you'll be looking at the panelist who's asking the question, but from time to time, just to include everyone in the conversation, do this. Your voice modulation. Don't let it be an even monotone. Make it go up and down so that some amount of engagement is there with the panelists. Like that. Now, I'll give you some practical hints. What you need to do, see, the questions are likely to come from 3 or 4 main sources. One is your DAP, then current events, subject and job. So take 100 of these A4 size papers. Think about the possible questions. No one can, of course, exactly predict what's going to come. Think of the possible questions, and then once you have made that question bank, tackle each topic at a time and go deep into it so that you understand in all its dimensions. Then 4 or 5 bullet points for each in order of priority, and then sit in front of a mirror or videographers that if this question comes, then this is how I'm going to respond, and make it business-like, crisp and to the point. Not more than 1.5 minutes at best. Ideally 1.25 minutes to 1.5 minutes. So once you practice like this, it will be something which will aid you in getting fluency. It will aid you in getting the right amount of time and the right amount of material. Because otherwise what happens is some things you know, then you expand on that. Some things you don't know, you're very short about that. So it becomes uneven. Here this way you will iron out everything, and it will be, because you have all the attributes of an officer, you have a good personality, you are articulate, everything else is fine. So you should go there with a positive mindset. I'm going to ace this interview. And you're looking serious throughout. The first time you smiled is just now. So when it is required, then you smile. It always adds, takes out some of the tension of your presentation. So do that, be relaxed, be your normal self, and you'll do very well. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
You have any questions?
Sir, I was a little bit nervous, as well as I was told before कि I have my speed of speaking is very much, so I was cautious to speak slowly. I hope I was not speaking too fast.
You are speaking too slow
Very monotonous.
and monotonous. It was a very monotonous tone because you were laboring to keep it slow.
Yes, sir. I was told you speak fast, so make it a habit of.
You see, this is the problem with mocks because you will get conflicting advice.
Yes, sir.
And then you get confused and then it becomes unnatural. Just be natural.
Okay, sir.
That'll help. Because then you will not be in a mindset that I am speaking to, you're conscious at the moment. Don't be conscious about these things. More important is the content. Right? Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Well done.